welcome back to my channel. That sounds... Let's just keep it. My nose itches. Sorry, I'm still laughing about it. Anyway. Hi everyone, welcome back. It is... Okay, hold on. My name is Stephanie Harford. Oh, this intro is just... okay. My name is Stephanie. Why are you still here? You might as well just click out. Just pretend this never happened. What's the point? My name is Stephanie Harford and I am a photographer turned fashion designer, and on this channel I create dresses, so... Okay, but my nose. Sorry. Compose myself. In today's video, I am going to be creating a reception dress for a client of mine. Her name is Cassity. This was my first time having a client that wasn't like a family member or friend. I met her because of this through another friend of mine. I wanted to give it a try, give it a go, see if I like doing custom work. Either way, this was a great experience, and I'm really excited for you guys to see how happy and beautiful she ends up looking in the dress at the end. But before we get there, we have the whole process to go through. So if you've been here before, you know how it goes. I show you my process. And if you've never been here before, hi, welcome. If you like dressmaking, I make a lot of them, so you might as well stay. Like, you might as well join. I need to stop dancing. You might as well join over here on my side of the internet because I said so. Yeah, that's why. Anyway, needless to say, I hope you guys enjoy the making of Cassity's reception dress. She had a dress for down the aisle and she wanted something unique and special for her first look of it, which happened in between the ceremony and the reception, and it was just such a sweet moment. I actually was the one who got to tie her up into the dress, which I didn't expect to be the one to do that, so that was really special to me, and I'm really glad I was able to do this. I probably won't be doing custom dresses after this because I realized that it was taking up a lot of my time, but I'm so glad that I had the experience. So if you want to see my experience, watch the video and I'll catch you guys at the end. So first things first, as always, we start with the fabric. I found this satin light ivory from Etsy, as well as these quilting cotton squares that I got at Walmart. It makes it really easy to use these because it's just enough for lining the bodice, and I really don't have to buy a ton of it, and they're really cheap. Lastly, we have this fabric. This is the infamous glitter fabric. I will link it in the description below. We'll only have one layer of it, and that is what she wanted, to make it very subtle and not too dark, and I love it. I think it's perfect to give it a more ivory look to the dress. I'm not sure while filming why I didn't get the cream colored tulle that I used to fluff up the skirt, but that's also a part of the fabric bunch. So that's all the fabric, let's get started. As for the pattern, we have all of these pieces. This is the lining for the skirt, and this is skirt back for the tulle, skirt front with the V part included, and here we have the main pieces. This was a test run, and my client wanted me to add an inch to this, which actually is perfect because I needed to anyway for the waist. What we're gonna do is pretty much just tape a piece here. That way we can add that inch to it. First thing I want to do is extend this out, but we're gonna add an inch up here. Go. That's the point. Okay. And what I need to do is figure out where the waistband goes. And I know that from the mock-up I did with the pink dress, I put it on my client. The waist on that one was a little bit further out than the pattern, and I want the pattern to meet up with it, which might be fine at that, but I want to make sure if it's a little bit more than an inch that we'll do it properly. So I'm gonna go measure the dress form to see how far over I needed this to be. I'll be right back. Okay, pretty much I needed to go over 2 inches, but I also want a little bit of room for the loops. So I'm just gonna do 1.5 inches. We'll just connect that all the way down. And that is the new back piece. Simple as that. All I did We'll shift everything over by an inch. And this will be the piece that we use. Just for good measure, we will do the seam allowance. And that is the edited piece. Base stitch the tulle on top of the satin layer. I debated turning it into like interfacing, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I should. Yeah, I think I should. I feel like that's the safe bet, to be honest. And plus this is really nice fabric. What? Okay, now the husband walked in. Okay, so I separated the little glitter tulle, and what I need to do is get some interfacing, and I'm kind of tempted to just literally sew them straight on like that. All right, we officially have our stack here. Each one is interfaced and has a layer of tulle, just one layer. That's the way my client wanted it, and I think one layer is honestly a great amount to give it that ivory, but yet a hint of gold or champagne. Here you can see me base stitching the tulle layer over the ivory fabric after I put the interfacing on. I think that this is the easiest way. I don't really want to hand sew, so I just put the loose tension and a really wide stitch and sew it on the edges inside the seam allowance area. Now it's time to sew the bodice together. I also make sure I have enough seam allowance so that I can use it for the boning channels. I'm going to later sew them down to create those channels on each seam, and that's why I included the middle seam in the center front. My client requested to have a boning channel going straight down the middle, and so I had to make sure I threw that in. I didn't do that on the pink dress last week. Okay, we've got the bodice. Haven't done any ironing, I don't really need to at the time. All of the boning channels are successfully made and I'm feeling really good about them. I think they came out pretty good. Now, this is just one layer. We need to get the straps attached. We'll have the back straps here on the edge of this, and then the top front straps will be right here. We're gonna put them in the opposite direction going downwards. Now I first need to cut those straps, and it's gonna be really easy to do so. Once I have the straps sewn on, I will then attach this. You can do it all at once, but it might be easier for me to just make sure the straps are on correctly so that they don't shift around once I put this on top. And then once we do that, we'll flip that over, it'll have the straps, and literally it'll be good to go. Now, I did kind of debate if I just wanted to go ahead and use that same kind of fabric for the inside, but I personally find cotton to be more comfortable on the skin, and I want the best for my client. Since you can't see it on the outside, I think that it will work out so much better. So we're going to set this aside and get these straps made. Okay, so they need to be 46 inches long, and then we're just gonna make four 4-inch long ones. We've got 4 of these, and so what I'll do is open them up, and then we will sew them down all the way along the long side, and then turn them inside out, and then we have the 4 straps. Woohoo! last thing I'm gonna do tonight before I head to bed, because it is literally just about to be 2 a.m. I'm going to attach the lining fabric, and now that we have the sleeves and everything all in there and good to go. And the reason why I want to do this is so that I can also get the boning channel at the edge, although I can't sew it down until I get the loops, but that's okay. So we're just going to line up all of these seams. As I drop the phone, what the heck? I literally have been sewing this whole neckline only to find out that it ran out of bobbin thread a long time ago, and I didn't even notice. And I took all the pins out and everything. Like, how did I not notice? Like, are you kidding me? Just how? How did I not notice this? I don't know. And now I have to put all the pins back to line it all up again. Okay, I'm gonna finish this off camera. And then when I'm done, we will move on to the loops before I flip it inside out, because I'm gonna need to put the loops inside of this and then sew it down. I feel like I might need another layer, so I have this slightly thicker, I'm assuming cotton. It feels really nice. And we're just going to make a whole new layer. I'm going to do this on a full dough. That's our little piece to work with here. Sometimes I just separate it just to make it a little easier for me. Okay, I'm gonna take this to the ironing table, iron all the pieces open, and then sew them together. And then we will see if it feels good hiding it within the bodice. Now, when we look at the bodice, I'm not gonna flip it inside out yet. But now when we look at it, I wanna do the loops. And usually it could fit 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. I just need to make the loops out of the satin fabric. That way we have some extra in case I mess up. This works out great. And these are going to be the little loop-de-loops. All right, I made 2 of them. The solid one is the much nicer one because it's just 1 layer. The one with tulle is a little difficult to make. I'm worried that I will struggle really hard trying to do it again. It took me forever to get it to flip because of the tulle texture and how thin and small it is to loop it inside out. See, it gets a little wrinkly. I honestly think that that would work perfectly fine. Okay. After a lot of stress, we're gonna play the safe route, plus they're a lot nicer and cleaner. So now I'm going to line them up and pin them at every inch, just like I have marked. So now we're just gonna sew them down. Hopefully it looks good. It better look good. Now we're going to flip it inside out, which the loops will actually kind of help in that corner. You just pull on it a little. And to keep that part down, we could also understitch. Let's just get this all out first. We've come across a dilemma. Apparently this strap had a hole in it. I'm surprised I never saw it when I made it. I don't know how and when it got ripped. I tried to see if I could layer some tulle on it, but it just kind of looks really bad. Do you see it? Because this is not a mock-up and this is the real deal, I'd feel really bad to have this. I know it's the tiniest little detail, but there is still time. It's not ideal that I have to do this, but all I have to do is just undo all of that. In the beginning of the video, I mentioned that I didn't show you guys the plain tool that was used to fluff the skirt, so this is actually it. I created long rectangles in that tool to make for about 3 or 5 layers, just to get the thickness that I wanted. And then I sewed it all together as shown here and put it underneath the glittery color, and I think it worked great for something just really easy and simple. However, it does make the waistline really thick. I don't know why I didn't layer it, but I probably would recommend layering the tool so that your waistline isn't as thick as mine was. I apologize if you hear the shower in the background. My husband doesn't understand the fact that I needed him to ask me ahead of time. So if he watches my video, he'll know I really was gonna record a video. So hopefully it's not annoying. But anyway, this is the update, the progress. We're pretty much almost done. The poofiness of the skirt, hopefully, is the poofiness that my client was hoping for. I know that she wanted it poofier than the pink version that I made. Next step after all of this is to attach the skirt to the bodice. Once it's all attached, I'm going to trim the front because I totally forgot about the whole V for the tulle underneath. I didn't do it the method that I thought I would. So the back is perfect. The back length is perfect. The tulle lines up. Before I trim it though, I was kind of hoping to steam it and kind of like calm the poof a tad. But I think that it is super cute. It's like a ballerina dress, as my husband said, and I think that's pretty much what I saw also when we were looking at examples and stuff. And I sent her a picture of it in its current state. She seems really excited, so I'm really happy. And like I said, now I got to attach it. And then I'm going to leave the zipper open. She's going to come in just a couple of days to make sure before we secure the zipper. I might opt out of the zipper and do a pin instead. I think I'm going to serge the tulle skirt so that it has a nice clean edge to it so that it's easier to line up with the bodice. I got my serging thread set to white. Gotta turn on this light. It's coming together, so let's go. The last step here is to trim. All I have to do is just make sure everything is lined up with the tool. Ta-da! So I'll probably double check it because, oh, speaking of, there might be like little pieces that didn't cut. I'm gonna transfer it to my other dress form My client is literally in between these two dress forms. So this one I know like where her waist like ends up at, so I know that like, yeah, sizing wise. I want to just double check. She's gonna be coming. I'm pretty much done with the dress, but on the inside my serger needle broke, so I couldn't finish the serging. But what I could do is possibly use bias tape, and then I'm going to fold it downwards. So like, okay, this side has the serge, but it was way too thick. So I was like, that's fine. Anyway, I was gonna push it down and sew it to the lining. Since the lining, you can't see it from here because it's tulle, you won't really see that line anyway, the like stitching line going on underneath. So I figured that's a great way to have it go down so that it doesn't accidentally flip up or get all bulky. So I was going to just, like I said, flip it down and sew it down. But I'm thinking if I were to put bias tape on it, it would be a smooth strip across. Yeah, I feel like that would look a lot better. Once I get that done, I'm gonna put it on the other dress form, and we're gonna see where this part, which I serged closed, oh, I gotta get rid of that like extra. We're gonna see where it lands, but I wanna make sure also that that part right here, that little tiny extra, like there's extra because I want it to have room for the loop and tying the bow and stuff. But yeah, I wanna make sure that it's also sewn down right there. So we're gonna get the bias tape and make it look nice. We're at the very end. Hi. My client tried on her dress and she said it's very comfy and she loved it. I'm so excited to show you guys like her in it. So stick around because that's coming up really soon in the video. So pretty much when she put it on, I noticed that the back, that it's like it doesn't show up when I'm holding it, but I saw it and it looked like the lining just went too low. Anyway, my point is I noticed that the lining layer dropped. When she was wearing it, it looked lower than the actual tulle. So since that is not good, I am going to line it all up and actually just cut it and redo it. So that's what we're gonna do. And I don't even need to film it, but I'm just gonna cut and fix that. But we're finally here at the end of the video, and I think it's time for the reveal. So I'm gonna go fix these errors, and you're gonna go see, wait, you're not gonna go anywhere. I'm gonna fix these errors, and you guys are gonna finally be able to see my client in her reception/wedding dress, second wedding dress, whatever you wanna call it. And I get to personally capture it, which I'm so thankful that she was able to work this out with me, that I could not only make her a dress, but also be able to film it as part of a discount that I gave her to kind of allow me to use this as content. So let's go see this on the bride herself. that's the dress. Oh, I'm so happy with how it came out for Cassity. And I loved the fabric, the glitter. You guys might have noticed the similarities with that dress in the back. I don't have the dress to put on the dress form, as you probably would guess, because it has gone off with her and I'm filming this afterwards. But it was and will always be a special thing that I was able to do for Cassity. And as you can see from the video footage that I just showed you, she was very happy and beautiful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully you can go find another video after this and binge my whole channel. Okay,